Okay, I've turned my neon light red today because we've actually got some very dire information to talk about regarding the Black Flag remake. And what is this crazy, sad, diabolical news, you might be asking? Well, it's less the game itself, and it's more what the game is going to do to the original Black Flag. Where most video game remakes stand on their own aside the original game, there's a very big chance with information we've just found that this Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake could in fact be replacing the original. So if you've paid for the original, you won't be able to play it ever again. I'm gonna get into all the nitty-gritty detail in today's video, and yeah, I am showing my face in this one. I did say the videos on this channel would be more low effort, where I just chuck up some gameplay, but I feel like this is more of an important subject that I want to talk directly to you guys, and especially directly to Ubisoft themselves, because what they're doing, if this is true, it's I would say pretty diabolical and pretty absurd. Again, we're going to get into the details of all of this. So if you're new to my channel, The XL Live, and want to stay up to date with everything Assassin's Creed, whether that's, but I'm slurring my words today, whether that's news, rankings, just general talking about Assassin's Creed, then you're in the right place. Chill vibes, subscribe to this channel. Yes, the hair's looking different today. It's looking very different, in fact, and that's because it's so long that I've had to basically pin it back with a hairband. It's kind of tucked away, but it is in there. And then I've got this little curtain look. This is what happens when the hair grows way too long. But I'm kind of low-key digging it right now. I kind of like it. I kind of feel like it makes me look a bit mysterious. Probably not. Let's get into the details. So let's do a quick breakdown of everything we know about the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake to date, in case you watching right now don't know anything about it. And for those of you that do, it's a nice reminder. So, last year we had a ton of rumored leaked information from insiders of all the future 10 years of Assassin's Creed and what those code names would be. Obviously, with official reveals, we had codename Red becoming Shadows. Codename Hexe is going to eventually get its official name, but we also again had some leaked, rumored codenames from credible insiders. Codename Invictus, which is supposedly going to be a Fall Guys style multiplayer Assassin's Creed game. Codename Jade, again, that's more official. It's now just called Assassin's Creed Jade, but there was another one called codenamed Obsidian. Now, again, internally within Ubisoft that these insiders picked up on and led us to hear about, they said that codename Obsidian is going to be an Assassin's Creed remake. They also said they want to do more remakes in the future. Now, these same insiders suggested that the remake is likely a Black Flag remake. So that was the first bit of information we had, that this is supposedly happening. Now, in my last video that you can check out, it's on screen, there's a card up there or there, and there's an end screen at the end of this video. In that video, I talked about more Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake leaks, and that video goes into a lot more detail, but I'll just give a quick summary here. A popular cosplayer who dresses up as video game characters is known to be in talks with Ubisoft when it comes to, dressing up as assassins. He posted a photo wearing Edward Kenway robes. However, these new Edward Kenway robes were different than the Edward Kenway we've seen in the original Black Flag. And in his caption, he pretty much alluded to the fact that this is a brand new design for Edward Kenway. Remake? Probably. Next, the voice actor for Edward Kenway in the original Black Flag himself was in a clip talking to a fan where he was basically saying, oh, you should really play Black Flag again. There's going to be a really good reason to do that soon, but I can't say any more. Remake? Probably. And finally, there's a popular toys company that basically create like figurines for different video games, notably Assassin's Creed. They had all of their Assassin's Creed figurines lined up when they were doing a live stream showing off their designs, and the one that was specifically missing was Edward Kenway. Then they said there's going to be a Black Flag remake, so we're doing a redesign. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about that, right? And then the woman next to him said, is that announced? And he goes, yeah, I read an article about it online. And then okay, so remake? Probably. Now we're at the main bit of new information that has me very worried, if I'm going to be completely honest. And that is, Ubisoft have been quietly tweaking the original Assassin's Creed Black Flag on Steam. There was a small update recently that was not announced or talked about, it just quietly was dropped, and people dug into the update files, what is new, what have they added, what have they tweaked, And in the files, they added a difficulty slider. Now, there was never a difficulty slider in the original Black Flag, and if you play Black Flag right now, you can't find this new difficulty slider. It's not there, but in the files, it has been added. So what that's been leading a lot of people online to believe is that Ubisoft are silently, quietly preparing the original Black Flag to be converted into the remake. Again, alluding to the fact that maybe this Black Flag remake is going to be replacing the original Black Flag, because if it wasn't, you wouldn't be changing the files of the original game. Why would you? It wouldn't make sense. And if the Black Flag remake does in fact replace the original Black Flag, sure, you know, if you have the game on disc, I actually have a 360 copy of it right here. Look. I've got the America's Saga, if you can see that, and that's got 3 Liberation and Black Flag. Now, if I put that into my Series X or my Xbox 360 or my Xbox One, I'm going to probably, I hope, be able to still play off the disc. But what's more likely is that Ubisoft, you know, regardless of that, are going to completely remove Black Flag from the Steam page where you can download it on PC. The Xbox Series X, PS5, you know, PSN stores, it's very likely that they will be removed from being purchased on there in favor of this remake. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, what's the problem? You know, we're getting this brand new remake. It's going to blow the original out of the water. Maybe. But I think when it comes down to consumers, you know, millions of people have paid for this game. Now, Ubisoft are basically saying, look, you've paid for this game. We're probably not going to give you a refund, because I don't think they will, but they're going to be removing you the ability to play this game. What does that say for respect to the customer and their wallets? What does it also say for game preservation? Ubisoft are, I think, the worst company for game preservation. They do not care in the slightest about preserving older games. If they have a reason to take it off the market, even though you've paid for it and you might have your own beloved memories with that game, they don't care, it's gone. Look at The Crew. The Crew is a racing game from, I believe, like 2013 or something. It was one of those always online type of games, you know, there's a story mode to it and you can play it yourself, but you kind of have to be on the servers to play it. Now, they shut down those servers, I think, sometime last year, which means you can no longer play The Crew. You can't install it or anything. If you look on the Ubisoft store right now, if you own the game, it's grayed out. You click on the game, it says, oh, we're really sorry, we've had to sunset this game. Sunset's such a cute word for removing someone's favorite game, because you know what I mean? And here's another example, specifically Assassin's Creed this time, where Ubisoft showed that they do not care for game preservation and they do not care for the games they've made in the past if they can sell you something different. Now that's Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 3 is obviously still playable. Again, you can put the disc in, if you have the disc of the original, into your Series X or your PS5, or maybe you've got a disc tray in your PC in 2025. I'd be surprised if you did, but maybe you do. If you put the PC disc in there, I'm sure you can probably play it. However, if you go on the Steam page for Assassin's Creed 3, it's not there. What is there is the Assassin's Creed 3 remaster. Now, yeah, it's the same game, you know, content is the same, aside from a few, you know, newer Assassin's Creed outfits brought back into AC3 through the remaster, but a few UI, HUD, and outfit tweaks aside, it's the same game. The only issue is, a lot of people argue, and I would actually agree with this, that the Assassin's Creed 3 remaster looks way worse than the original Assassin's Creed 3. It's just more saturated, and the lighting has been completely butchered in favor for some weird take on Assassin's Creed 3 that clearly, if you line up the original with the new one, you can see which looks better, and that's the original. That's what I think. But I can't go on my PC and install the original Assassin's Creed 3 now. I have to play a objectively worse looking version of the game. That's a prime example of a remaster taking over and replacing the original with no choice from the consumer themselves. So, leading back into the Black Flag remake, replacing potentially the original Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, that's why it's a worry to me, because I believe in game preservation. I believe that if you pay for a game, if you've enjoyed your time with a game in your life, you should have the right to be able to come back to that game in years to come, even if the developers have moved past that themselves. Now, there's a very important and trending movement at the moment called Stop Killing Games. This is basically a movement. I don't really quite know the legal terminology of what this association is, maybe, but they are a European movement, and they're trying to get the law at least talked about and preferably changed so that companies like Ubisoft have to preserve their games. They have to provide some type of way to play the games that they've made, that people have paid for. Now, Stop Killing Games is Ubisoft's worst nightmare because they don't care. They don't want to do that. They don't maintain the servers of their old multiplayer games. They barely maintain the servers of the AC Unity co-op. And if this law comes in where people, companies have to now, think about game preservation and think about, oh, this person paid for this game, so we can't just remove it like they did The Crew. They'd have to keep some sort of playable version of that around. Yeah, again, as I said, that's their worst nightmare. But I very much hope Stop Killing Games does go somewhere and it sets a precedent, hopefully, for the gaming industry. Anyway, I'm kind of just ranting here. I just wanted to bring light to this situation. I want to urge you guys to make backups, of AC Black Flag. I'm not talking like, pirated backups or anything. I'm talking if you've paid for the game right now, you've got it on your Xbox store, your PSN store, your Steam, or whatever you've got it on, download that game now so you've got the files on your system. If you have the disc copy or you don't, go buy a copy. Make sure you've got the original copy of Black Flag. If you love that game and you want to preserve the game yourself, make sure to do that. I've got the disc. I've got a couple discs, actually. I think I've got a PS3 copy, a 360 copy, an Xbox One copy. I'm making sure I preserve this game because Ubisoft clearly don't want to do it. So they've left it up to us. So yeah, that's it. That's all I really want to talk about. I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know. Do you think Ubisoft are going to completely remove Black Flag, as is, the information alluding to that we've talked about today? Let me know your thoughts. We'll get a conversation going and build the AC community. If you enjoyed this video, a subscribe, don't know why I said it like that, would be really appreciated, really helpful, and obviously like the video. I will see you guys soon. Sometimes I'll be talking face-to-face on camera when I feel it's warranted, like today's video, and most of the time, I'll just throw up some random gameplay and I'll just yap, and it'll be great. Love you guys. Stay around for chill vibes and Assassin's Creed content. I love you guys. May the Father, understanding God. I will see you soon. Goodbye.